Good day everyone, so the Genshin Impact 5.7 live stream is over and we can almost say that this is going to be the Abyss patch for Genshin, which makes me really excited. So in today's video, let's chat about 5.7, let's chat about what made us excited and what was a bit of a letdown, as well as some of the concerns that I have as the ever contrarian on YouTube when it comes to anything Genshin. So first of all, look, the colors are absolutely amazing. Anything to do with the Abyss, the beautiful dark blue purples and blues, and even some of those light purples, they match Kokomi's aesthetic, and anything that matches Kokomi's aesthetic and gives me an apocalyptic vibe just makes me really excited and happy. So what you can see in terms of the background footage, which try and guess where this is really just, I love it. I really love this type of environment, exploring it. So I'm very happy in that regard. I'm very happy when it comes to Skirk, like the Narwhal weekly boss domain. I've gone out of bounds. I've put Kokomi in a Skirk mod, taken lots of photos there. So when it comes to Skirk, also really excited. The kit looks really good as well. Very cool, very fancy and flashy. So I'm gonna try and do my best to get Skirk, because I just love the theming of it. So in terms of the Abyss, the story and Skirk, for me those are 3 big ticks. But now let's get to the part where I'm a little bit more like skeptical as usual. So when it comes to 5.7, I feel like a lot of the improvements we're getting with the artifacts, the ability to reroll stuff, all of that are things that I've seen in other gacha games, for instance like Wuthering Waves and Honkai Star Rail. So for me, 5.7 feels like a catch-up patch, and the whole point of the catch-up patch is really in preparation for Not Cry, if I'm going to be really blunt. Oh, by the way, excuse the background footage here, I'm still very much a noob in Wuthering Waves, so the background footage is not going to be optimal in any way whatsoever. In any case, getting back to what I wanted to talk about, I think the whole reason why Genshin Impact is now introducing all of these artifact systems and so on is not just to catch up to Wuthering Waves and Honkai Star Rail, but I think fundamentally what they're trying to do is look at new avenues to monetize the existing Genshin games. So I'm one of those people that's always skeptical when Genshin or Honkai Star Rail give players things that they want, if they give you increased pools of ability to reroll substats, because what this means is that there will now be an expectation that your characters are going to be stronger in a certain sense, so therefore we can up the enemy HP and difficulty. But in order to compensate for this, you're either going to have your older units with multiple constellations and like perfectly rerolled artifacts, or you can buy the new shiny character that has higher multipliers, that ignores elemental burst like cooldown and restrictions, and mechanics like Mavwika, and from what I can gather in the live stream, Skirk as well, with her own new set of mechanics. And we're going to give you enemies that are going to be really annoying as hell. So I think that the clearest thing for me that all of these Genshin improvements are really about monetization and not so much about listening to the players, in air quote, is the fact that the battle pass once again is going to feature the ability for you to get these like feathers to do the substats and re-rolling. That's exactly what Genshin is going to try and do. Never think that they're going to not monetize quality of life. You aren't given quality of life to make life easy, it's to make sure that the game has quasi, it breathes in a bit of life, there's a bit of excitement, but fundamentally it's just another way to monetize it. And that's the way you should really be thinking about any improvements that are brought into Genshin. And we've seen this with Honkai Star Rail. You get like a free character, free doctor ratio, you get 10 free pulls, and yet all of the generosity you had in Honkai Star Rail came then with the caveat that your units get outdated fairly quickly, and it's almost like in the latest Abyss, you're only going to really do well if you get the latest units. And I could tell you these business practices from a mile away, because 2 years ago I've seen this in a game that I've now since quit playing, and that is Honkai Impact 3rd, where you had Abyss floors that were so tailored to the new units that even if you had a C6R5 equivalent of an older unit and their best in slot teams with like near perfect gear, you would always literally be worse than a C0 equivalent type of unit in that game. It is absolutely crazy, and I think this is the direction that Hoyo is going to go for as well. So from my perspective, I would have much rather liked it if Genshin, instead of the Chronicle Wish, just gave us like an Honkai Star Rail, the ability to choose at least half of the characters that you're going to lose the 50-50 to be older units, so that you can get more constellations for those units, so that those units can, in an indirect way, kind of keep up with the latest power creep. Because I can promise you, with the new endgame mode, that endgame mode is just another way to sell you some of the new characters, and there's nothing innovative. It's going to be another, you stand in the circle and then you're going to have a timer and beat up the enemy, and then some random whale on YouTube is going to one-shot it in 1 second, and you're going to feel bad because you're not able to do it. Everyone's then going to be like, oh my god, but just use Xiangling, and then you'll realize that, hey, this new game mode makes you start off with 0 energy, so Xiangling is absolutely useless like she's always been, etc, etc. But yeah, I mean, look, yeah, just have a bit of a healthy dose of skepticism. But in any case, those are my thoughts for 5.7. Let me know what you guys think about that below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.